We thought it was allergies and asthma. Heart problems never crossed our mind. Never, not one time.
My girls are very close with their grandpa. They spend time with him doing projects. They like to feed the horses with him. He is very much a part of their life.
Probably one of the first men I had ever dated who wanted to know about me. And I think that was probably the first thing that impressed me about him, that he actually cared about other people.
I've enjoyed excellent health up until 2 years ago.
He just never was sick. Like, he didn't have a head cold, he didn't have a sore toe, he didn't have anything.
I retired at 61. We went on vacation to Florida for a week.
But from the time we got to Florida, Scott was not Scott.
I was having a hard time breathing.
Dragging around, not hungry.
I couldn't sleep at night flat. I had to be up in a chair. Classic heart things. Okay, if you talk to anybody with heart things, that's the symptom right there.
We were at Disney World, and so we were walking all day, and Scott kept having to sit down. And that just wasn't Scott. And we just thought his allergies were acting up, because he'd had terrible allergies.
And so I didn't know if we were going to make it home or not. I might have had to go in the hospital down there.
But it never entered our mind that there was any heart thing going on.
And we got home and we went to the allergist that afternoon that I got in town. And he said, "This isn't allergies." He says, "I don't know what it is." Well, that was a Friday afternoon.
But by Monday morning, Scott was gray and fat and having a terrible time breathing. That's when we went to the ER.
Heart rate was 150. Boy, you got some big trouble there. And they did the echocardiogram, and the ejection fraction was 15%.
I heard the guy who did the echocardiogram say to the doctor, "I'm so sorry." And it just hit me that those numbers had not computed into a good reading.
And they said, "You're in congestive heart failure." And when they said that, I just burst into tears, because I thought Scott was going to die. I thought congestive heart failure meant you were going to die.
And the folks here shipped me to Springfield.
It was very difficult to be around him and to see him like that.
And my heart was very weak, had gotten very large, and was not able to move blood around. And what was happening was I was accumulating water, and it was exerting pressure on all my organs and my lungs, and that's why I couldn't breathe. Well, in the meantime, they had given me diuretics, blood thinners, things like that. I was feeling a lot better than I had, but we were still at 15. And that had everybody really worried. It was 15 for a month. The AFib, it was what was going like this with your heart. And it was working very hard but not getting anything done. And it had to get back into that.
Mr. Shoemate underwent a procedure called electrical cardioversion, which is a procedure we do to bring patients back to normal rhythm when they're in an irregular rhythm called atrial fibrillation. You
know, and they just shock it as like hitting a reset button.
They actually stop your heart totally, and then they start it up again.
I woke up, I didn't feel any different, but she checked it out.
And Dr. Parvathanini had this huge smile on her face. She said, "We just shocked him once. Flipped right over. He's fine. Blood pressure's good, heart rate's good, the EKG looked good." And when you could see how pleased she was, your fear just disappeared.
It worked, and it stayed too.
And the numbers just started to creep up, and then they hit 50.
They weren't able to figure out exactly what caused it. And I think it ended up being an idiopathic diagnosis, but it's totally normal now. I feel great. I can do anything I want to do. No problems.
Various organizations, including American Heart Association and NIH, have participated in research over the years, which provided us with various tools to take care of heart failure patients. That includes diagnostic tools and treatments, which include medications.
I can't imagine that some of the drugs he took were even available 10 years ago. I just think it's important to support organizations like the American Heart Association who work hard and try to spend the money that's donated to them. I think they try to spend the majority on that, on the research, and not the administration. And I think that's important to people, that they know when they give that their money is going to be used, in a good way.